The moment you start chasing, you've already lost. Let that sink in, because chasing means this. You placed her on a pedestal. You made her the prize. You forgot you were the man. A man grounded in purpose doesn't chase. He chooses, he observes, he leads. The world will tell you otherwise. Movies, songs, society, they'll say fight for her. They'll say never give up. But that's not strength. That's programming. That's emotional slavery wrapped in romance. You don't gain power over a woman by running after her. Not with sweet texts, not with perfect dates, not even with love. You gain power by choosing yourself, by walking away the moment she assumes you won't, by walking away the moment she assumes you won't. This isn't arrogance, it's awareness. It's the moment you realize that needing her is the quickest way to lose her. Because the second she feels you need her more than you need your own respect, she stops feeling safe. She stops admiring you, and yes, she stops desiring you. And whether she says it out loud or not, she starts losing interest. You don't win her heart by showing her how much you care. You win it by showing her how little of yourself you've given away. Neediness is the disease. Detachment is the cure. Most men think attention equals affection. That pouring energy into her will light a spark. But in her eyes, your attention is only valuable if it's rare, if it's earned, if it's rooted in strength, if your self-worth is determined by how often she replies to your texts. You're not leading, you're orbiting. And orbiting is what satellites do. Machines, not men. She didn't come to be your emotional oxygen tank. She came because she sensed something solid. A man who had his own air to breathe. A man who didn't need her but still chose her. That man doesn't flinch when she pulls away. He doesn't panic. He doesn't spiral into overthinking or begging because he knows her silence is not his emergency. It's her moment, not his collapse. That kind of emotional stillness. It's rare and it's magnetic. Not cold, not indifferent, but deeply unmoved by chaos. And that stillness is where her craving begins. Not because you play games, but because you have your own world and she wants in. Stop giving your power to things outside of you. Stop checking if she saw your story. Stop rereading texts, looking for clues like a detective in your own heartbreak. That's not attraction. That's obsession. And obsession with a woman you don't even understand yet. That's self-abandonment. Every second spent analyzing her is a second stolen from becoming him. The man who doesn't need to know what she's doing every hour. The man who isn't mentally orbiting her life. The man who wakes up, looks in the mirror, and sees purpose, not panic. You want her attention? Then stop giving yours away so freely. Become the kind of man who commands attention without saying a word. That means discipline. That means solitude. That means silence. Because in the silence, you hear your mission. And your mission makes you magnetic. Read, train, build. Not to impress her, but to become undeniable. Wake up before the sun and push yourself until your limits scream. Not because it makes her want you, but because it makes you proud of you. Pride isn't a sin when it comes from progress. And no woman will ever respect a man who doesn't respect himself first. And here's the irony. When you stop chasing her approval, she starts chasing your presence because you've become a mystery again. You've become scarce. You've become something she can't define. And what she can't define, she can't control. She doesn't want to be your leader. She wants to trust yours, but she can't do that if you fold every time she tests you. She can't do that if your energy depends on her mood swings. She doesn't want to carry the relationship on her shoulders. She wants to lean into it, but she can't lean into a man who's always leaning on her. The truth, she'll challenge you, withdraw, give mixed signals, not because she's cruel, but because she's looking for something solid, a wall that doesn't collapse under pressure. She's asking, "Are you a man I can trust in the storm?" You don't answer that with words. You answer it with stillness. Stillness that says, "I am not moved by temporary emotions." You hold frame. You stay on mission. You don't explain. You don't beg. You don't perform. You simply are. And when a woman sees that, she sees power. She sees a force of nature, and she knows she cannot lead that man, only follow him. If you don't hold the frame, you don't exist in her world. You become background noise. Another man in the crowd. Another option. She scrolls past. She doesn't follow a man who bends. She follows a man who stands firm, grounded, clear. She needs to know your words have weight, that your boundaries don't move with her emotions, that your direction doesn't shift when she frowns. The second you shift your boundaries to avoid conflict, you disappear. She may smile. She may even thank you. But deep down, something inside her fades, respect. And when respect fades, attraction dies next. Every time you tolerate what you once stood against, she loses a piece of respect for you. Not because she wants to, but because safety dies where certainty does. You don't earn respect by saying, "I'm strong." You earn it by being strong when it's hard. When she raises her voice, you don't raise yours. You stay centered. You lead with calm. Say no and mean it. Not to dominate, not to punish, but to protect your direction. Because if your mission can be rerouted by a woman's approval, then you never had one to begin with. And deep down, she knows that. Chasing is a confession. It says, "I have nothing valuable unless you validate me." And validation seekers don't lead. They beg, they fold. They disappear in their own need. Instead, build not for her, for you. Build your mind, sharpen your body, discipline your habits. Design a vision so clear that she either rises to match it or watches from a distance as you evolve without her. A woman doesn't fall in love with your flexibility. She falls in love with your foundation. The man who says, "This is where I'm going. You can come with me, but I'm going either way." That's the man she respects. That's the man she trusts. That's the man who doesn't ask for a place in her life. He invites her into his. She's not turned on by men who follow. She's drawn to men who move like gravity. Unspoken, unshakable, unapologetic. And what is gravity? It doesn't beg. It doesn't plead. It simply pulls. It exists with power and certainty. It doesn't have to announce itself. You just feel it. You don't need to convince her to stay. Your presence convinces her to submit. Buttonly if your presence is powerful. And power doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from becoming deeper, more aligned, more focused, more centered. She pulls away. Don't flinch. She ignores you. Stay silent. She tests your emotions. Let her. Stillness is power. Reaction is weakness. Because the moment you react, she knows she controls the frame. But when you remain calm, she starts chasing your calm. She leans into your stillness. She finds peace in your presence. You become the rock she didn't know she needed. That's the paradox. The less you try to win her, the more she feels you've already won. Because confidence isn't loud. It's quiet. It's felt. It's lived. Don't be the man who tries to get chosen. Be the man who's already chosen himself. That's not ego. That's self-respect. Because when you lead your life so unapologetically, she's either pulled into your orbit or spun out of it. And if she leaves, let her. You don't chase what walks away. You replace it with your evolution. Your mission doesn't pause for romance. Your vision doesn't shrink for approval. The man on a mission is more attractive than the man on his knees. Always has been, always will be. She doesn't want to carry you. She wants to rise with you, but she can only do that when you stop asking for permission to be a man. Stop waiting for her cues. Stop reacting to her moods. Start moving in alignment with your values. You don't gain power over a woman by overpowering her. You gain it by becoming the kind of man she never wants to lose. The kind of man she thinks about when you're not around. The kind of man she dreams about when she feels uncertain. The kind of man who teaches her what security actually feels like. So stop chasing. Stop performing, stop folding. Build yourself brick by brick until even your silence commands respect. Until your presence alone is a statement. Until she looks at you and sees strength. Not in your dominance, but in your discipline. The man who needs nothing attracts everything. She'll never say it out loud, but she doesn't want a man who reacts to her. She wants a man who leads her through emotion, through doubt, through fire, because life is chaos and love is uncertainty. She wants to know, if the storm hits, will you still be standing? Most men collapse when challenged. They explain, they argue, they justify. But the man she craves, he doesn't explain his worth. He embodies it. He doesn't raise his voice. He lowers the temperature of the room. He doesn't fear distance. He respects it because distance reveals the truth. It shows you who follows and who forgets. Be that man. The one who is okay walking alone. The one who doesn't need her approval to keep moving forward. The one who has built a life so lined that losing her isn't a loss. It's a filter. If she fits, she follows. If she doesn't, she fades. And you remain whole, unmoved, focused. Because you didn't build your identity in her affection. You built it in discipline. So build, wake up early, move with purpose, speak with clarity, say no when it's hard. Make your silence golden, make your presence rare, make your standards non-negotiable. When she sees that, she changes. She starts showing up softer. She starts leaning in more. She starts craving your leadership, not because you asked for it, but because you earned it. If this hit you somewhere deeper, don't let it fade. Comment, choose power, like the video. Subscribe, not for us, for you. For the man whore refuses to chase because he's